Thank you very much. And Gwen, I got to tell you, that was a fantastic introduction to what we're talking about here at Northisle Copper and Gold. Clearly, it's something that we are looking to tackle immediately to be a part of the solution for this inevitable supply deficit. But the reality is we also have this incredible exposure to gold through not only discovery, but through our very large project at Northisle, which is a copper gold porphyry in British Columbia. I will be making forward-looking statements. Please familiarize yourself with the disclaimer. So what I'm talking about in terms of the significant project is it already has about 2.4 billion pounds of copper in indicated resources and approximately 4 million ounces of gold in indicated. It boasts a PEA of approximately $1.1 billion at 8% after tax, about a 19% IRR for over 22-year mine life. So this, in all respects, is a very, very significant copper project with a massive gold credit. We are based in British Columbia. I'm going to be on a panel throughout the course of Roundup with the government of British Columbia, who are announcing their critical metals, the initial part of their critical metal strategy next week on Monday, and look really forward to updating the group on how that affects Northisle in particular. So the value proposition that Gwen was talking about is really, are you a growth opportunity or are you a value opportunity? Well, at Northisle, we're both, because we do have this very large project defined as a PEA. We're currently trading at about $80 million market cap, so we're about 0.08 times our net asset value. But then we have this incredible growth opportunity in our golden rich zone, which is only a few kilometers away from this project, where we have hit intercepts of about 130 meters of 2.1 grams per ton gold equivalent. That's over 270 grams times a meter proposition. So again, if you're looking for obviously the longer term value, deep value proposition, that is our Hushamu and Red Dog project. That's what's defined by the PEA. If you're looking at the growth opportunities that Gwen was talking about in terms of exploration success, that is certainly coming through as part of our Northwest Expo opportunity that we have advanced pretty quickly. And then thirdly, we have a very large buried porphyry system in Pemberton Hills that boasts a lithocap of over 6.5 kilometers by 1.5 kilometers, which we are looking to progress aggressively as well. Our core team is founded by Dale Corman, Mining Hall of Famer, obviously discovered and sold Penasquito for $1.2 billion as part of Western Silver. We have a very seasoned management team with over 200 years of finding, investing, building, and developing large porphyries like ours. And then we also have Michael Gentili, who's also a large shareholder, 9.9% shareholder, who's also our strategic consultant advisor as well. We have outperformed all the peers. Again, to the last presenter's indication, this is something that people are actually recognizing as part of our success in 2023. Off that, we were able to capitalize the company fully with a $6.5 million raise. We post pro forma, we have approximately $10 million of cash, fully financed for our 2024 program. And as part of that, we got one of the US's largest institutional gold investor, Franklin Templeton, to come into as a lead investor into that offering. So just to give a little bit of an overview, obviously critical metals in Canada, British Columbia is one of the key themes of this conference and the roundup coming up. We've identified all the critical metal projects on this map here. If you zoom in to the Vancouver Island, which is where our project is situated, we are on the northern end of the island, which is historically a very industrial resource extractive part of the island. We're approximately 500 kilometers north of Victoria and approximately 300 kilometers north of Campbell River. As you move towards Port Hardy, which is the epicenter where BHP essentially built this northern part of the island for their historical island copper mine that ran from the 70s to the 90s. They really built out this area and the infrastructure for this mine, which was of a very similar size and scope of our project. Our tenements are now shown on this slide. You can see BHP's Island Copper Mine to the bottom right-hand quadrant of it. Port Hardy is only a short 30-minute drive along paved roads into the Island Copper Mine, which you can see at the bottom, that is on the peripheral of our tenements. That's the Island Copper Mine right now, which is currently flooded and used as a TMF pit. And that port, which you can see on the right-hand side of that picture, is arguably the closest deep-sea water port from continental America to Japan. Again, you see Port Hardy, very, very strongly supported by the natural resource extractive industries, very highly supported from the local MLA, Michelle Babchuk, which is a picture of her there supporting us during the Mining, Fishing, and Forestry Day that is celebrated every year to obviously recognize the history of the natural resource extractive industries in Port Hardy. As we go from the southern port to the northern part of our property, you can really see the porphyry, the 50-kilometer porphyry trend moving from Pemberton Hills to Hushamu to Northwest Expo, which is on the northern end of our project right there. Just to the north of that is the Cape Scott Wind Farm. It's one of BC's largest wind farms. It produces approximately 99 megawatts of power. We have conducted a BC Hydro study, and there exists approximately 100 megawatts of available distribution and power for this project. So right now you have an encapsulation of a project within 25 kilometers rather, has exceptional infrastructure, a port, paved roads into the deposit, power, and a place to house all the direct and indirect workers to move this project forward. It's a very sensitive to obviously copper and gold prices. We conducted the study in 2021 at copper prices of $3.25 and $16.50 gold. Every 25-cent movement in copper increases the NPV by about $300 million. So this is what really captured the imagination of our work in 2023. This is the Northwest Expo area. This is what we've publicly defined as going to be coming out with a maiden resource in the next couple of weeks and months. As part of the work that we drilled in 2023, we hit an intercept of approximately 130 meters of about 2.1 grams per ton. So that's the 270 grams times meter intercept as part of this. And as you can see in the sections there, it only happened at about 65 meters from surface. So now as we move forward and progress to release our resources coming up very shortly, we're also encapsulating a very aggressive exploration program in 2024, which is fully funded due to the $6.5 million equity offering that we initiated and completed last month to go after this highly mineralized porphyry area. So within that 130 meters, this is all within the porphyry, there was about 30 meters rather of 5 grams per ton gold equivalent within that porphyry that hosted over 2% copper and about 3 grams per ton of gold in a hydrothermal breccia. So that happened at 65 meters from surface, and that's why we're going to spend a significant amount of the proceeds that we just raised to go after that exploration target aggressively. West Goodspeed, in December, we extended the trend of this northern area all the way to the east, about 7 kilometers to the east, to an area that we call West Goodspeed. And this area yielded some pretty good discovery holes, over 100 meters of 0.5 copper equivalent. So this is, again, an area that extends 7 kilometers from this high-grade zone that we've been focusing on drilling. So that was a very, very positive outcome for us. Pemberton Hills, as I mentioned before, is defined by this very large lithocap, 6.5 kilometers by 1.5 kilometers. If you tilt it to the side, which we believe very strongly it has been, the alteration expands east-west by about 5 kilometers wide, which, as you can see, as part of some of the comparables around projects around the world, compares extremely favorably. We kind of comp it to from a system size perspective to like a Las Palambras or a Batahuju. So some very exciting exploration results and work going to happen over the next little while. We talked about BC. Again, I don't want to steal the government's thunder. They're going to be coming out with their announcement tomorrow, and certainly we've been very close with the federal and the provincial government to establish how quickly we could expedite our project. All of it really does come through the good work that we do through our First Nation relationships. We don't consult, we get consents prior to going through our permitting process, which is why we got our 5-year MIAB permits last year to do all this work within a record time of 14 weeks. These are permits that usually take 1 year to 2 years in British Columbia to receive by anyone that's ever gone through the process. It took us 14 weeks. So this is why I think I'm very confident in our approach, and I'm certainly, it has been very well received by the provincial government, and that's why we've been seeing some significant results as it relates to our timeline expediting these permits. So in conclusion, what to expect over the next quarter and 2 quarters rather, we will finalize our drill results that will inform our resource estimates that we will release this quarter. We will also be concurrently or shortly thereafter releasing our metallurgical test work to show that this is a economically feasible project area within that Northwest Expo. We will then commence our fully funded 2024 program, partially getting the project into an economic study, partially focused on this much higher grade gold zone within the porphyry at surface. And then we will continue to inform the market on how that program evolves through Q2, Q3, Q4 as we release those results. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.